Hi guys, welcome back. I am Maya with Simply Bloom. First off, I wanted to showcase these tiger lilies because aren't they gorgeous? Yes, they are. So I've been getting lots of questions about my watering system. What do I use? And I thought I would go through it in this video. So simply put, what I use for an irrigation is this. I do not have an irrigation. I do not have a drip line. I wish I did. I told my husband that is definitely something we will be getting for next year, if not this year, because it's been a lot. The last 2 years, typically once everything is established, I would water it maybe once a week. Most of the time every other week because we just got so much rain. Not this year. This year we've gotten very, very little rain and it's been very, very warm, which means I am out there hand watering hours every day. I do half the garden in the morning, the other half the garden in the afternoon. A lot of my more established plants I don't necessarily hit, but I have a lot of new flower beds that I put in last year and a lot of new plantings this year where I feel like I need to water those every day. It's been a lot. So for the perennials and trees and shrubs, I just use straight water like this, but when I water my annuals, I use a water-soluble fertilizer. Not at the moment, I'm just using a Miracle Grow. I put it in a little hose attachment, pour in these little packets that I have of the fertilizer into the hose attachment, and then I can go around and water all my annuals. I use this in my vegetable garden as well. It works fine. I'm not 100% happy with the Miracle Grow because I don't think there's any iron in the Miracle Grow fertilizer. So that chelated iron is what prevents the leaves from turning yellow with the green veining. And I see that in my garden every year, even with the water-soluble fertilizer. So I would like to try out Proven Winners has a water-soluble fertilizer as well. And I know theirs has chelated iron. Now what's hard about the pre-mixed packages is as your plant goes through its life cycle, depending on the time of year, it depends on what type of nutrients it actually needs. So when I used to work at the garden center, it was my job to mix up the different ratio of fertilizer for the dosatrons, which is what fed the fertilizer through the hoses. And depending on the time of year, depending on how much iron it needed, and I was able to customize it for the plants. You're not able to do that with these pre-mixes, but it makes it a little bit easier for the home gardener. I don't even know if you could find retail the different things that I mixed up for the garden center that I was working at. So this is just what I use. This is what I do. It's not perfect by far, but I thought I would bring you along with me as we water. Now, I just fertilized all my annuals yesterday. Technically on the package, if you read it, depending on what company you go through, it says either fertilize every third watering. So if you're watering every day, it would be every 3 days. Some companies on their fertilizer, they say fertilize every 7 days. So I'm not going to be fertilizing today. I do have a whole nother video that I'll leave linked below of how I fertilize. So if you want to see that, check that out. But in the meantime, let's get to watering. Okay, you guys, I am done watering for this morning. Supposed to be the hottest day of the year so far, so most likely come out and water a bunch of stuff in the evening as well. And just so you guys know, I have a baby monitor so I can hear the kids. Just know my husband's always in with them as well. What we do, I film on my phone. I'm currently filming on my phone. So if my husband texts me or calls me that the kids need me or that they're waking up or baby needs to get fed, I don't always see it on my phone because I'm busy in the garden. So I take this monitor with me, and my husband will actually speak into the monitor and say, hey, need to come feed baby, or hey, so-and-so, needs you. So just know that they're never inside alone. One thing I want to talk about are hostas. So just because something isn't wilty, it doesn't mean that it's not thirsty. And hostas, the more water they get, the bigger they grow. So these are 30-year hostas, and they are actually the smallest since I planted them because it's been so hot, so dry, and I just push it off because they're not wilty. And because they haven't gotten enough water that they need, they are so small this year. So just keep that in mind if you're like, why aren't my hostas growing? Of course, they all have a size maximum that they will potentially reach. But if they're not even close to the recommended size for that hosta, you're probably not giving it enough water. So just learn and remember that just because they're not wilty doesn't mean they're not thirsty. Hostas love water. The more water you give them, the bigger they get, the happier they will be. I feel like you will rarely see a hosta wilt. They just won't grow to their full potential. So keep that in mind. But that is it for this video. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.